Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We got ourselves a Nantex-Class Starfighter preview today for X-Wing, and we're going to take a look at this cool little separatist ship that is going to be zipping its way onto your battlefields in no time. Now, also do want to remind you guys, tomorrow is going to be the announcement winner for the $25 Amazon gift card, as well as for the Legion-specific Spot Gloss promo from Gen Con. So both of those are going to be announced tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you click that subscribe button, and it's actually down there. But yeah, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the bell for alerts so you don't miss out. And we'll go ahead and jump right into this this preview. So this is a ship that really relies on the bullseye firing arc for its main gun. That's going to be a 3-die attack, which is pretty cool for a zippy little small ship. But it's also going to come with a turret that cannot be pointed to the rear, and we'll see that when we look at the ship cards. As far as the dial, it doesn't have, it's a fast ship. It doesn't have the one straight, so it's going to be moving pretty fast. But it's got the one banks are blue, the hard turns are white. It's got the one hard turns white, which are always really, really nice to have. It's got all the twos, the hard twos are white, but the rest of the twos are blue. It's got 3 straight that's blue, 3 banks that are blue, so a lot of blue there. It's got the 3 S loops and the 5K turn, and then the 4 and 5 straight white. So very fast, very pretty maneuverable. A couple of different ways to turn around, and you got those hard 1 turns being white, which are always nice. It's nice to make them little zippy turns. A lot of maneuverability here, it looks like, and some interesting pilot skills on these guys. Now, we did see the preview early on. One of the main factors that's going into this ship is the tractor tokens, and this is just a reminder. Tractor tokens, you are only considered to be tractored if you've got enough tractor tokens on you for your ship size. So small ships only take 1 tractor token to be tractored, whereas medium ships, you have to have that second one to be considered tractored. And for large ships, you have to have 3. So if one of these guys puts a tractor token on the Millennium Falcon, it's still not going to be considered tractored. So you're going to have enough to be considered tractored, and we're going to see that when we start to look at some of these cards. So, speaking of the ship card, it's got 4 hull, no shields, 3 agility, so pretty dodgy. And it's got our turret that has only 2, but it's got that primary gun that's also pointed straight up the bullseye arc for 3 damage. So I like the flexibility here, and I like the whole using a bullseye only, arc, which is really cool. Now, as far as actions, all you can really get here is focus and evade. So no target lock, although it will come with that targeting computer that we saw in the spread earlier. But yes, and it has pinpoint tractor array, which says you cannot rotate your turret to the rear arc, and that's the design of the ship. It's that ball right in between its mouth. It's that ball that can only go this way and that way. It can't turn around, because otherwise it would blast itself right in the hull, and that's not good for anybody, unless of course it's your opponent doing it. But then it would just it'd be self-destructing at that point, which is not really very popular among Geonosians. So yeah, but the pinpoint tractor array also says after you execute a maneuver, you may gain a tractor token to perform a rotate action. So that's pretty cool. Again, now you're performing an action, so if you happen to be stressed, you won't be able to actually perform that action, although you can still gain a tractor token if you want. You're not going to be able to perform an action if you have stress. And it also looks like if you bump, you should be able to do this, because it doesn't say you have to fully execute the maneuver. So I think even if you bump, you might be able to move out of the way, which is really interesting, especially if your turret happens to be pointed in that direction. Of course, in that case, if you bump, though, against somebody that could blow you up, maybe you don't want to, right? We've got an initiative 2 here for Gorgal, who also has, during the system phase, you may gain a disarm token and choose a friendly ship at range 1 to 2, and if you do, it gains a tractor token and then repairs one of its face-up ship trait damage cards. Now, this ship in general doesn't mind gaining tractor tokens. That's why, of course, it wants to tractor itself, because while it doesn't have barrel roll, if you give yourself a tractor token, that's kind of a way for you to make sure you're barrel rolling. And so this one can do that to another ship. And of course, it doesn't have to be another Nantex Starfighter that does this. It just has to be, you may choose a friendly ship at range 1 to 2. And theoretically, it doesn't say another friendly ship, so you could choose yourself, which is very interesting. And I like the artwork here too. This guy's like burning, going down in flames, but he's still managing to stay alive. So kind of cool there. The artwork is great on these ships too, by the way. Like, I love that one, and I love this one too. We've got Chair Tech here, and Chair Tech has, while you perform a primary attack, if the defender is tractored, you may re-roll up to 2 attack dice. This one's really nice. Definitely love that, being able to re-roll up to 2. Again, tractored, again, if they don't have enough tractor tokens to consider them tractored, just having 1 isn't always going to do it. This guy will work a lot better against smaller ships and not as well against the larger ships if you're trying to put tractor tokens on them. But still, that being said, re-rolling dice, if you can manage it, is going to be great. It's going to be great. We've got an Initiative 4 that's going to be generic with our Petranaki Arena Ace. Also, this one, while there's not a lot to talk about because it's a generic, look at the top of that card. We've got ourselves a lat in like firing at this dude. And I feel like this is a little bit of foreshadowing because there's been some speculation on whether or not the lat would come to X-Wing with the Clone Wars. I know a lot of you really want the lat. Let me know in the comments if you want the lat, if you're looking forward to the lat, and if what you think about the lat. Because the fact that it's in the artwork here makes me really think, well, they're showing it in a dogfight basically with this guy. I feel like this is some foreshadowing that they're saying, yeah, it may not be in the next wave, but it also may be. Well, maybe not the next wave, because next wave is this is for wave 5, and we're on wave 6, so it may be a wave 7 thing. That is certainly possible. I think this is a very viable option for wave 7, considering wave 6 really doesn't have Clone Wars stuff. It's everything else, right? So that's kind of cool. And then we've got a See, I read this as Burr-work-rett. Like, this is our beer master, right? No, it's Burr-work-rett. Geonosians have very strange names, but I guess that's just a symptom of being in the Star Wars universe. But Burr-work-rett says, after you perform an attack that hits each friendly ship with calculate on its action bar and a lock on the defender may perform a red calculate action. This one's going to work really, really good with your droid swarms, so this way they can all get extra calculates. They have networked calculations. Target is going to work well with your bombers too. You're more likely to be able to do that. This way they can change more of their dice. They can share more of those calculates. It's going to be really, really cool. There's a lot, like this may be one of my favorite ones just because of the synergy. Especially if you are looking at maybe only buying one Nantex Starfighter, this might be the one you run with all of your droids. Very cool. And he's also Initiative 5, which is pretty nice. Which means he's very likely to be shooting before all of your droids shoot, so they can take advantage of that red calculate action. And also, this is more actions during the engagement step, which is kind of fun. So, a lot of cool stuff about Burr-work-rett here. And then we've got Sun Fak. Fak. We'll just call him Sun for right now. Initiative 6, so nice little ace for the Separatists. While you perform a primary attack, if the defender is tractored, roll 1 additional attack die. So, again, if you are able to line it up, and if you can get them tractored, and you can get that, that bullseye at range 1, which, you might be able to do with somebody who can potentially tractor themselves and barrel roll, reposition right onto you at Initiative 6. You can line up that front shot at distance 1 or range 1, close range rather. I'm getting my Armada and X-Wing terminology confused, but if you can line up that bullseye right at range 1 and with them tractored, you're looking at 5 dice right there. All right. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll take it. I will take it. So we're also getting targeting computer. We're also getting another copy of Snapshot. Snapshot's going to be a nice one here. And that one will use the full frontal arc, which is kind of fun as well. Of course, we're getting Ensnare at the end of the activation phase. If you are tractored, you may choose one ship in your turret arc at range 0 to 1 and transfer a tractor token to it. Now, that is going to be something you may want to run if you're running a lot of Nantex fighters. If you're trying to be able to tractor the Millennium Falcon, for example, if you run 3 of these, they all, granted, they'd all have to be in their arc pointed at that ship and range 0 to 1, so they have to be right up on it. But, that's one way they can potentially, transfer all of those tokens. The fact that when they get the token allows them to barrel roll, though, maybe you can swing that and make it work. And also gravitic deflection. While you defend, you may re-roll 1 defense die for each tractored ship in the attack arc. So, you know, if you if you're really working the whole tractor thing, this is a nice one to have too. And I like the idea of re-rolling defense dice, especially on a 3 agility ship. This one's pretty cool. I kind of like it. Nantex, it looks like it'll be fun. It looks like it'll be a fun little ship to fly. I like the ability to tractor yourself and move around. I like that initiative 6. I also really like the initiative 5. But let me know what you like best from this pack. I think that basically showed us everything that comes in it. So it'll be a fun one. And that's about it, guys. All right, I'm going to let you go now. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I also want to thank my patrons on Patreon. You guys are amazing and definitely make this all possible. So that's all I've got for you. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, have a great day.